Hey guys, welcome to the RoundTable. Here at the RoundTable, we continue the conversations that we have had from Sunday morning and how you can have practical ways to help every person take their next steps towards Jesus together. Hey guys, welcome to episode 66 of the RoundTable. I'm Jenny Walker, the social media ministry leader here at Life, and this is Mike Hill, our pastor.
Yeah, what do you call me? Is that just the pastor?
Yeah,
just
the
wait.
senior pastor.
Oh yeah, no, that's a weird name.
The senior pastor.
What do you call
People
him?
Yeah, I know.
People ask me like, "What do you want to be called?" And I'm like,
I feel like there's only one name.
Mike. Like
Well,
Mike.
yeah.
Mike.
But I'm describing what
No,
you
like
do
church
here.
people sometimes want to call you pastor.
All of them do.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's religion. No, for real.
Because they forgot I had a first name.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
No,
I think
because-
a lot of them think it's because of respect.
Yeah. Well, and I knew a pastor that used to get mad for not
Yeah.
If you didn't call him pastor?
Yes, if you didn't refer to Pastor Blank. Or it was even a woman did it too. Yeah.
I'm reverend.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
don't
better
think
call me
anybody's
that.
doing reverend
Yeah,
anymore.
are they not?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're never.
I don't know. Tom Heckber, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Tom, what's up, Rev? Yeah. No, I don't think that goes together. All right,
Tom.
Jenny, you're introducing our special guest.
And this is our special guest. We've had about pretty much all of our family on. You're the third one.
Dear
Tammy
Lord, don't
Little.
tell people
Judas,
that-
we got way more littles to get through
Yeah,
that.
I know. Yeah,
Pretty much all the family.
She's the third
3 out of
one.
15.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm number one, though.
Right.
She is
Right.
number one. She is number one.
Yeah, our color coordinated Tami Little.
I had red fingernail polish on.
And
so I
red
thought,
lipstick and red earrings.
No, I didn't have the red earrings. I stopped by my mom's on the way here and said, Mom, I need red earrings because
my
I don't have.
Yeah.
So
Is
I
this
had
a
red
serious
shirt.
thing? Like people do this all the time? Do you match everything together? Or is it just a you thing?
No, people do it. People do it. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike.
Jenny! What are you-
People do match their
Jenny.
outfits.
Like, yeah, do you think? I don't color code like that.
Well, it's
You
not
know-
like my undergarments have to match.
See,
I mean, it's not like
see,
something
she's
like
not,
that.
She's
but-
not totally matched at all.
Okay, I'm just saying.
not wearing
Like she
red
came in
pants.
today and I'm
No,
like,
I'm wearing
is that on
white.
purpose?
Yeah, but you
Like,
got to check out
everything's-
these new shoes. Check these out.
That's the first time anybody's done that.
What in the world are those things?
Did you
Those
see
are
them?
cool.
These are the new
Close up to those.
Skechers.
Do you have like shoes to match outfits?
No.
Okay.
And the reason is because I can only wear Skechers because I have a problem with my feet. So I can only wear
That's the only problem you have?
Just wait.
That was good. Is it
no.
plantar fasciitis?
I do.
I knew
so
it.
Skechers have this arch in them that, you
Yeah,
know.
they do.
Yeah. So, but I have every color of
Shout
Skechers.
out to Skechers. Where's our sponsorship?
I know, see?
Skechers.
Come on,
And did they
Send me
Skechers,
some
sponsor us.
coupons.
Is that a new one? So she's wearing tie-dye.
I'm wearing- yeah, these are
Skechers
the
for the
dark
people that
tie-dye.
aren't watching.
Oh yeah, good
These are
job,
the-
Jenny.
Yes.
We forget about those
I
people
know. Well,
sometimes.
I
Just
know.
the listeners.
I didn't. I
Yeah.
hear.
Yes.
I got your back, guys. Because I've been listening to podcasts, and there was this one episode, not on this one, but a different one, and they didn't say what was going on, and I'm like, I can't. I'm not there, man. I can't
Okay.
see.
Yeah. So when we said that, so Tammy is in all red.
Yes.
Yes.
Is like red your favorite color?
No.
Well, she's wearing. It's work, right? Or did you just come from work?
We'll talk about work on another phone.
Is that not work?
I knew I would be on this side.
When she came walking in, I'm like,
Just go for work. I don't work anymore.
Listen, no,
Wait,
here's the
loser.
funny
Tammy,
thing. So,
I saw. No,
wait a
I saw
second.
her in that last week.
Yes.
No, I know. So here's the
did
funny
work
thing
last
about
Oh,
week.
she
Tammy.
worked last week.
Tammy has probably 15 to 20 different outfits from work. Tammy's tried out a lot of jobs.
I have.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't, you know.
Okay.
Scott and I, when Scott and I used to have meetings, I'd be like,
yes.
what's up with Tammy? She got fired again or quit again.
Yeah.
One of the two. She was always changing her.
this one
and I'm
had-
not blaming you. I'm just saying it's hilarious.
It's
Is it
okay.
not true that
It
you've
is true.
changed?
Okay.
It is true.
Professions.
Nelson and I talked about that the other day
Yeah, like
because,
you changed
well, this one was
professions.
because, I went back into management because
Yeah.
I retired, and then after losing Scott, then
Right.
I decided to go back in management because it's good money.
Yeah.
Okay, but after they got me in there and I worked for a month, then they were like, okay, now we need you to work Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah. Right.
And I said, wait a minute. I told you when I was hired, I don't do overtime.
Right.
Because you pay me salary. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
give money away.
Right.
And they're like, well, that's our policy. And so that's how it happened.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like you get fired or quit jobs because of any other reason other than it's
I quit.
hilarious.
If I'm not happy, I'm
no, I
out.
know. It's hilarious. Like you change them up. So
Yeah.
Tammy's got a wardrobe of all sorts of like
do.
different places.
That's why
that
she does it. She wants all the clothes.
That's right. Freebies. Freebies.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait, so why would you get fired? If
Because she didn't do the policy.
Because
Oh, you mean other jobs?
just like all in general.
Have you ever listened to Tami talk? I mean,
Well,
Tammy lets it all.
I'm just
Tammy,
wondering.
I am not.
Okay, Tammy's just like Scott. They do not hold anything back.
And we
She
don't have
doesn't have
filters.
That's what I mean. She's
Yeah.
gonna run her mouth.
Okay,
So it's because of your
management.
mouth?
No, it's not really because of my mouth. Well, I lost my job lately because of COVID, of course, so they let a lot of people go.
Right.
And then that was, I was a shipping manager at that point. And then, because I've always done shipping, I walked out because of another job because making buku money traveling around because the supervisor of the maintenance department come up and punched me right in the face.
What?
I might have called him some
It
names.
was a man? It was a man?
What'd I just say?
Yeah.
I said, she's like, I don't run my mouth. Oh, this guy just randomly shows up and whacks me.
He's a
once.
supervisor. I'm a manager.
Exactly.
And I
First of
walk
all-
out there. Kids don't want to work today.
No,
And
they don't.
No offense.
No, we can offense to them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an
They
offense.
know, they
Trying to
know.
offend people. We do it
Yeah.
all the time.
Okay, so you walk in there
Specialty.
and you're a manager and they have rules and get your job done. I don't care if you goof off. I don't care if you have a couple of extra
That's
cigarettes
right.
during the day.
Yeah.
Get your darn job done.
Seriously.
And when well, that's not my job. Oh, I just want to ring them up. I do.
Yeah, and you just sit there and say, it's okay, honey.
Oh, no, I don't.
I bet you don't.
And they're
That
like,
was my point.
I know.
Tammy
And then-
does not, it's not wrong. I'm just saying you say what you feel.
yeah, I would grab them by the ears and go outside and say, let me tell you something. And
I get it now. I get
But
it.
I'm also old school, and that's the way you used to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So old school, you grab a hold of them and call their mom and say, "Can you move yours?" Or something. Not
When
their
they're
mom or their
working?
wife, yeah. When they're
Call their mom?
yes.
When they're working.
I said their mom, but I meant somebody. Call him
I
over
don't
here
get
because I'm
it.
gonna whoop his booty and.
Was that a joke?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Oh.
But
Either way, so let's keep this moving.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm just saying. So again,
Yeah.
Tammy has a great personality. Her and
Yeah,
Scott
she
work well
does.
together. We've talked about Scott before. I'm sure we're going to get
Yeah.
into it. But
Yeah.
so part of the roundtable is evolved into, since Jenny's been getting a lot of guests, we've loved to get like people's stories. So it's awesome to be able to kind of hear people's stories. And what we're trying to help is in the midst of this, we're trying to talk through things that happen in people's life, like the history that they have makes decisions or changes the decisions they make for the future, right?
Yeah.
So understanding history, and we're hoping that our listeners are going to be listening to some of these dynamics, right? Because everybody has a dynamic to their story. And so I guess if you're listening or watching, here's the thing you need to be okay with is that this is only an hour and 15-minute pod. We can't get through every single story.
Right.
So when somebody says something like, we can't elaborate on it, don't get too mad if it's you they're talking about.
reach out to me.
Yeah.
Just reach out to me. I'll
my
tell you.
point
I'm an
just
open
is-
book.
Did this happen?
I'm
this
just saying
happen?
there are times like when we talk about our past, we're afraid
Yeah.
to say things because we're afraid like if somebody's going to be listening.
Oh.
Or we talked about the story and we only gave a small snippet of it because
Yeah.
it's what affected us. Now there was something bigger.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's a
Right.
lot going
Yeah.
on
Sure.
with the small snippet. What we're trying to do is get those small snippets, learn from them, talk through them. So again, and I've always said this, one of the fun things about the podcast is like when I've been around people for a really long time. So been around you and Scott for a really long time.
Like
Again,
how long?
well, they were some of the first people that came
Really?
to life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we loved it. Our kids started it. Mike was the youth group leader at the time because it was still so small.
Oh, wow.
And our kids came and our kids invited us.
Yeah. And because it's a
Wow.
funny story because so remember me telling the story about like when Sherry got cancer and then we had to use up our whole like 401k. Remember me telling that story?
Yeah.
So anyway, so then we were at the part like, okay, we want to invest instead of putting into like we want to buy property. So we bought a manual, where they ended up working. But it started off with Isaac Little was working there. This was before Isaac had come to the youth group, right? So Isaac was a part of it. Isaac was working there. And this is kind of a funny story. And if I tell it wrong, I don't even know if Isaac listens. But it's kind of a funny story. Isaac signs up to go to the Marine Corps.
Whoa.
Then he decides, I don't really want to go to the Marine Corps. I'm just going to go work out in a manual. So I was like, oh, is it just like quitting a job? You don't go? He's out there working, getting it going. calls me, says, hey, the Marine Corps called and said, if I don't show up on this date, I'm going to jail.
No,
like, once
that
you
doesn't
sign,
happen.
yes, it does.
Yes, it
Like
does.
once you sign the contract,
Yes, it does.
you have to fulfill the contract. Like there's no going back on it.
No.
So anyway, at the time, you know, Scott and Tami had come to the church for a while because, again, their kids invited them.
Yeah.
And something happened with one of Scott's jobs, medical bills. I can't remember what it was, but they were at a place like, we need to do something different. Yeah. And this is what started this whole mission of us saying, well, we got a farm. You go work on it. We'll build relationships,
Scott always
help
wanted
people.
to be a farmer. Always.
Really?
We always wanted to be in the country.
Yeah, so they moved out to Emmanuel and started
Mm-hmm.
working for us, and it was 11 years, 12 years that they were out there. But they were in the beginning of Life Church.
Yeah.
So anyway, fun to know, obviously, the backstory of probably more through Scott than obviously through you know, because I met with him all the time. But we want to kind of hear your story growing up. What was life like growing up? And again, we're looking at it through the lens of a perspective of Christianity. Like, did you grow up? What was faith like? Where did you come to faith? How did that all come together to the point where people know you today? Because part of who you are today is the history from where you've come from. So learning from that and going through it. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, it's kind of an easy story, I think, because I was raised in a Christian home. I take that back. My mom was a Christian. So my mom was a Christian, and we prayed and prayed and prayed for my dad for many, many years. Yeah. But that's a different story. But anyway.
Wait.
So I'll tell it.
Okay. It's coming? Okay.
It's coming. So anyway, but I was raised in a kind of church that if you do this, God's going to punish you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the same thing that I think Dee Wigner was talking about.
Right.
You know, the religious part of it. So, I was saved at a very young age. I sang a lot. And I traveled with a Baptist choir.
Oh, wow.
And I got to sing with orchestras, and yeah.
Why aren't you doing that now?
My extracurricular activities changed my voice.
Too many packs a day.
You might be like, who's the raspy singer? What's her
Stevie
face?
Nicks.
Yes. Is it Stevie? Oh, I was thinking the woman.
I still do karaoke. Have you seen my Facebook page?
No, you do karaoke?
I do.
Girl, I do karaoke.
Well, the first time.
Girl, somebody put something up on the screen. Put some words up on the screen.
I know, man.
These boots were
made for walking.
Keep going. Just go.
I just want to need. Hey, listen.
Okay, you ready?
No, when I go to karaoke,
no, you're doing
I
it
put
together.
on
Ready?
a whole show.
No, wait. So just do that part. You ready? Two together. Right?
I don't know the whole lyrics.
The boots are made for walking.
These boots are made for walking.
And that's what we'll do.
Keep going.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
That was good.
And that's the low version.
Yes.
So
that was
anyway, so you're growing up in a religious home.
And you know, I mean, I even went on an airplane one time, and I was not in a good place. I even went on an airplane, and the airplane started rocking, and I was with Todd, my brother-in-law, and I was with a couple of other girls, you know, and a couple other people, and I go, okay, God, I know this plane's going down because of what I did when I was there.
Wow.
That's the kind. I mean, it's like the fear.
So let's go back a little bit, because you're saying, so you grew up in this religious home.
Yeah.
But and then you were in this whole, like, I'm in a gospel singing. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
weren't on
sorry.
a gospel. No, listen, I was just thinking maybe people thought you were traveling in a gospel thing
that's
with
what I
Todd Little.
thought.
I'm right. I'm like, these two stories
how
don't
they
go
met.
together.
That's how they met.
Nobody's ever, she didn't marry Todd. She
No, I
married
know,
Scott.
but that's how Scott met. Because
so
Todd-
clear
That's how
back.
we met.
So
We met through Todd.
Oh, you did?
Well,
But not on an
that's coming in
airplane.
the story.
No, so we're going back, and so you're a gospel singing.
I was a gospel singer.
Dress wearing, no
I was on
earrings.
Color coordinating.
No
I was
earrings. No earrings.
Oh, yeah. Back in the 80s, dude.
No,
man,
I
they
know,
were
but the
really
Baptist
big.
churches let you wear earrings?
Well, Baptists do. The Pentecostal do not. And that's coming.
Okay, got it.
So, anyway, so I was raised but I was saved when I was really young and baptized. But I mean, my parents were, amazing people. I mean, they let us be us. I mean, they didn't have, but they had rules, no smoking, no drinking, that. And then those kind of things. But my dad was old school, you do something wrong, you get your butt beat when you get home. And
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Okay.
I always blame my brother.
Because I always think this is funny. Now, I don't know if this is true, but a lot of times the more rules that a family has, like as an example, I'm guessing this. I'm guessing the no drinking, no smoking, no sex.
I became wild.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's because of what they did. So this isn't a condemnation. This is kind of what I was saying about don't be afraid to share your past because we're not condemning parents because they had rules. My point just is when you got to the point of, like, at what stage of your life did you start rebelling? Rebelling. Is that a right word?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I mean,
when did you start saying, I don't really care about the rules?
Well, the thing of it is, I really didn't. It's all my friends that were. So I blame them.
You never rebelled?
Oh yeah, I rebelled. But I mean, my one of my best friends in this whole thing when I got out of the choir. And I decided that I wanted to go to work full time. And after school, I became manager of KFC when I was a junior in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
The whole manager? Like the store manager?
Right. Evenings manager.
Wow.
So wait. So in the time frame, just so everybody tracks the time frame, save this young.
Baptized.
Because this is what we're trying to figure out. Because this happens to so many people.
Oh, yeah.
Their story's the same. Grew up in a Christian home, saved when I was young, and then there's like this period of my life where you wouldn't know, right, that I was saved. I'm not saying that you were or weren't. The point was, at that stage of your life, so it happened when you were in high school. That's when it happened with you.
Yes.
And if you could attribute it to anything, would it be had my license, had my freedom, my friends, people around me? What attributed to the, like, I'm going off?
One of my best friends was a pastor's kid.
Everybody blaming on the pastor's kids.
No kidding.
No,
she was like dating a married firefighter.
She made you do it?
She was. She was like, come on, let's sneak out. No.
Well,
no. It was me. It was
they
on
are
me.
who you hang out with. That's so
That's
true.
so true.
So true.
So again, but you're saying that during that middle school, high school, you started to hang out with people that did it?
Oh yeah. No, but they all followed me. I was the leader. I was definitely.
But how did you become friends with them? Because like going from the choir and then like to that group of friends, that's
or were you guys smoking
intense.
doobies in the choir?
I know.
Absolutely.
That was a good choir. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so the Baptist choir smoking doobs out back.
My brother.
We love you, Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus.
My brother, I would like
Chong action.
I would like stuff my backpack or it wasn't backpack there, it was fanny pack there.
There's still fanny packs now.
I got one for my dog, which I got to show it to you later.
dog.
Just keep moving. Keep moving. Okay, so you're in the choir smoking doobies.
Yeah, well, actually it started with cigarettes, and then after the cigarettes, then it was like, okay, let's try this and let's try this. But yeah, I was a drinker. I mean, a big, big drinker.
Right.
So I would pack, even go to school. At Huntington North High School, the church right across or right in front of it.
That's been a smoking thing forever.
Oh,
I used to do that. Oh.
Back in the day, we had Smokers Corner.
You did?
Yes. So we all could go out to Smokers
That's probably how
Corner.
that started.
Chuck Shoemaker talks about that there was a Smoker's Corner.
My
Yeah,
God.
Smokers Corner, and we would all go out there, and then you could also walk over to the KFC that used to be where CVS is now.
Really?
Yeah, and then Noble Romans was on the mall. We'd all go get lunch.
There was Noble
smoke,
Romans
whatever,
here?
and then go back.
Okay, so
that's the generation that ruined it for us.
So you couldn't get out of school.
Yeah.
Right. No, but so again, this is, and I want to make sure that we could get this. What is it that would take? Because this is what we're trying to figure out with kids, right? So I want to know what's going on in your mind. So you grew up knowing right and wrong.
Yeah.
You knew Jesus. You knew all of those things. And you came to a place where you made a decision essentially to walk away from everything that you believed. Not walk away from you, lose your salvation. But you decided to go against everything that you were brought up in.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it was that I felt, not that I was sheltered, because I wasn't sheltered. They allowed us to do pretty much. I mean, I had really good parents.
Right.
But I think it was, I wanted to be my own person. I didn't want to have to think about dying on the airplane, that we were talking about, or I didn't want to have to think that. So I put it all in the back of my head.
Okay.
I just put God in the back of my head, and it's like, I don't know.
It was not a priority at some point. No. This was your parents. You grew up around it. You didn't have a lot of choices because you were going to do what they told you to do.
Right.
And then you get to the place where you got choices, and you're like, I'm
still going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm going to explore, right? Because you have a strong personality anyway, so you're going to explore and do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you start this process of.
You what?
I learned to lie.
Yeah, I bet you did.
That's what people with have a lot of rules. They teach their kids to be liars.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, yes, definitely.
But my dad, my dad was cool because he wasn't saved. So I could go. You know what I mean? So I could go.
So you want to know if you got a cool dad? If dad knows Jesus, he's awesome.
It's like,
because
Mommy,
you can get away with a lot.
Yeah, I love my mom. My parents are still living, and I am so blessed for that. But no, my dad. We could go out and cuss out in the garage.
So it was like bonding time. Bonding time with your dad.
And then I said something to my mom, and then I got a bloody lip. But that's old school. That's how
soap in the mouth.
But so again, you're going through this.
Yeah.
In this phase, dating.
Mm-hmm. No.
You weren't dating.
No.
You weren't dating anybody.
No, I was ugly fat chick. Seriously.
Be nice to yourself.
I've learned to accept it.
Okay.
I've learned to.
Have you seen my high school pictures?
No, but why didn't you bring them?
Somebody find one and send it in. When we promote the podcast, somebody find a high school picture of Tami.
Gosh.
No,
listen.
But I was the
Nelson
one that
listens to the podcast. He's got to know that there's some out there somewhere.
Some. Yeah,
somebody's got
them. Fat back in the 80s is not fat today. I mean, fat back in the 80s is a size 13.
Yeah.
If you know what that means. Because back in the 80s, you had to have the Barbie doll figure or you were fat. Okay.
Why are you shaking your head? You weren't born in the 80s.
Come on.
You're over there going,
Well, I watch a lot of documentaries.
Oh, correct.
So either way, you're not dating.
Yeah. No,
right?
I didn't date.
Not in church.
I worked a lot.
Not in church. Not in church.
Nope.
So
nope.
Kind of doing your own thing, working, drinking, going down the road.
Yep. Getting pulled over by cops all the time.
Yeah. So at what point? So let's talk to Scott. At what point first do you meet Scott?
Yeah.
So where does Scott fit in the picture? And the only reason
Can I really tell that
because
story?
Scott is obviously people that listen to our podcast or come to the church all know Scott passed away. 6 months ago. How long
January,
ago?
8 months, almost 8 months.
8 months ago. So he was obviously loved. He's in heaven. We're celebrating.
Yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
here's disappointed. But anyway, so because he's an important part, it's nice to kind of see how he fits inside of the story. So at what point in high school, out of high school, how'd you meet Scott?
He was a freshman and I was a senior. And
wow, cougar. Yeah.
And he was like one of the, popular kids but in the other side. And I had
popular on the rebelling side.
On the rebelling side.
He wasn't popular.
He was a druggie.
Oh, got you.
He was a druggie.
He sold drugs, back then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can say it all now. He can't get arrested.
Right.
Just go ahead, pour it all out. He's up there in heaven saying, Tami, just say it.
Yes.
Just say it.
Just come on.
But anyway, he dated my friend. Well, I did go out with his best friend.
So
I can't believe he never.
Swinger culture.
Did he know that?
Hey, I got my best friend, your best friend. You want to meet up, see how it goes?
Oh my! No, really? Well, how did that go?
PG.
Okay.
Well, they switched.
We did.
You really, literally did.
Okay, we went to skinny
Jenny,
dipping.
you had no idea.
Okay,
No,
I was working.
Listen, skinny dipping.
I was working at the KFC.
This is how it came.
Jenny, this is not what she's telling you. You gotta listen up. Skinny dipping.
We were okay. I worked at KFC, and everybody met at KFC. I'm sorry, Craig.
Who's
Craig doesn't care.
Craig doesn't own it anymore, so now he doesn't care.
So he doesn't.
Yeah, we can't worry about him.
It's okay.
Craig Lee. But anyway, he everybody would meet, and I would lock the door, so we would fry up a whole bunch of chicken.
That's amazing.
Smoke the doobies.
Inside
fry
the restaurant?
chicken.
No, I wouldn't let
say
him
it now.
smoke. No, I wouldn't let him smoke in
Oh.
there because
I would.
I didn't want to get fired. But I didn't want to get fired. I had
didn't
a really
have
good
cameras back
job.
then, though.
But I had a really good job.
I know, but they wouldn't
Well,
know.
here's Scott. Scott, my friend's boyfriend or whatever he was, he walks in the back, and I'm like, Here he's got this
First
really
time
long
seeing him?
hair. He's got this really long hair, and it was like my hair was long. I'm thinking those would go together.
What kind of products do you use?
Yes. So anyway, but
You could share
and
them.
then he was annoying. So I'm like, forget
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So we went skinny dipping that night and had all of our friends, all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what
And
you used to do back then.
So then the cops pull in. Yeah. The cops pull in and
Hey,
they're like,
everybody get out.
yeah, that's exactly what they did.
No.
I was the first one. Okay.
So you got to know Huntington County real well then.
Oh, they all
From
knew.
the
They all
beginning.
know me, honey,
Yeah.
because they all knew the Littles. So they.
Yeah, I know, but they got to know you real well then.
No, I know.
From the beginning.
See, the cops knew where the skinny dipping parties were.
Yeah, they
so
did.
they decided, for entertainment tonight, why go to the drive-in? We'll just go out to the pond, put the lights on, and say, everybody out. I mean, this is a police order, but
Yes.
everybody out.
It was the reservoir.
The reservoir?
Yeah, the Huntington Reservoir.
Don't you know what happens at the reservoir, Jenny?
Nothing happens then.
Nothing now.
Because it's nasty.
Well, and you can't drive down there. But
Oh, you
could
can't?
Yeah, we drove all the way down. We were skinny dipping. And then, I was just walking up and he said, I go, I'm already out. So here, I'm coming. So I come out and he said, man, you're a cool chick. Because I was the first
Oh,
one
she's
out.
standing there stark naked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because not only did I feed
the cop
them.
said that?
No.
No,
Scott. Okay.
Scott's like-
Okay.
So on their way home, I said,
You didn't get arrested?
no.
Okay.
Back then, they just poured out your beer and
That's nice.
That's
so
sent you on your
nice.
way.
Yeah.
They might call your parents if they knew them.
Oh.
But anyway, we get in the car and I was the only one driving because I was the only one old enough.
Uh-huh.
And I said, Scott, you can get in the front seat. Steve, you get in back.
Oh.
And they said, Kelly says, what's that mean? I said, because I'm
taking him.
To your friend?
I'm taking your date.
So we
Your
swapped
friend?
horses.
Was she your friend after this?
Well, I'm going to hell.
Was she your friend after this?
Oh, yeah. We're still really good friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Special delivery.
Yes. Ooh.
A Nelson Little.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm excited. That's not bad.
Oh. That's when I lost.
Wow.
I became bulimic.
That looks like Nelson.
So I can.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Scott with hair like that?
Woo!
Yeah.
Wait,
That's me on the left.
you were not fat.
I was
Why
bulimic.
Were you confused?
This was
Yes.
after Scott and I got together.
Oh,
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Look at you, you're a hot thing. Oh my gosh, these
I'm going to be a
crop tops
hot
are coming back
thing.
now.
I know. I'm
Everything
gonna
you're
be a
wearing
hot-
looks like today.
Yeah, but I have no boobs.
Good thing that you didn't go skinny.
Hey, let's talk about a boob one.
Okay,
No.
so anyway, if you're listening, we're looking at pictures, old
I'm
school
sorry.
pictures of
I'm sorry.
Tammy.
Yes, yeah.
Thanks,
So-
Nelson, for sending good ones,
I
babe.
know,
He was
Nelson.
talking
Good
about some
job.
high school ones.
Okay,
and-
so anyway, you
Anyway.
and Scott meet. So
Yeah.
at this point in your life, because I want to make sure we
Yeah.
stay on
Okay,
track. So
okay,
at this point
so-
in your life, none of you two are not focused on Jesus.
No.
Right?
No.
So you date,
Date.
go down the road.
Yeah. Break up a couple times. He moves in with me. Well, the reason why he moved in with me was because his mom left when we were at Kings
Right.
Island, and
Right.
yeah. So then we got together. We got an apartment together, but I wouldn't get the apartment. Wouldn't sign the agreement until he asked me to marry him. But he didn't know that. He didn't know that. So one day we were just out and I don't even know what we were doing. He just was really, really sad all day. And I asked him, I said, what's the matter? And he says, I think that we just should get married.
And that made him sad?
I know.
Well, wouldn't it you if you were marrying me?
I've just been sad all day.
I
feel like
know.
I'm trapped and I have to marry you.
Well, sad
gosh.
because he didn't have any money.
No, I
He didn't have a
know.
job. He was still in high school. So what do? Hop in my car. I drive. And we go to the pawn shop and get engagement rings for me at the
What?
pawn shop. Our first set, my engagement ring, my wedding band, and his wedding band all cost $35. at a pawn
Holy
shop.
crap.
Yeah, that's
That's
the way to do it.
insane.
That's the
Yeah.
way to do it right there.
Oh
I'm
my
going to
gosh.
the pawn shop.
Yeah,
Sarah?
why not? Yeah, sorry, Sarah. I love you, but
Yeah. Hey, I'm sure they have some good ones there.
Yeah, I bet.
No,
especially
I bet they
these
do.
days, especially drug
yeah,
dealers.
So let's make sure that we
Seriously.
Okay.
so we get through this because we want to make sure that people because sometimes like when we're telling these stories, people think that we're making light of that. It's like,
Oh,
okay to get
no.
drunk,
Yeah.
okay to do skinny dipping, okay to, that's
Right.
not what we're doing. Part
No.
of the story is to say, now you've went along, you guys get married at a young age.
Yeah. He died 3 times. He died 3 times on me. That's when I said no more drugs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, again, so during this period of time, neither one of you are following Jesus.
Right.
Listen, this is Scott's version of
Yeah.
Tommy. Scott did about every drug you could think of.
Yep.
Hardcore. He
Yep.
could have been an artist at Ohio State. He had a scholarship to go to Ohio State to be an artist, decided
Wow.
not to. He's a great artist and to be a
Yeah.
tattoo guy, but drugs, acid,
Yeah.
all those things. And it's funny when you used to talk to him, like he would be like, this is part of my memory problem because I did so much drugs.
Wow.
Anyway, so this is the period of your life.
Yeah.
What was the changing points? At what point?
Yeah.
He didn't really, again, I'm going to put words into his mouth or into the story.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever grew up with the idea of Jesus in his life.
No,
You did.
I did.
Right? So here's 2 people coming together. Scott coming from a place, didn't have that at all. You coming from a very religious background. Both of you are not living, ideally, the lives that you should be living.
Right.
What was the point where you got back in church? What was the point that you started to go? Because there are some places in your story you went back and fell away and went back and fell away.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
We
so-
had Nelson.
so that's what brought you back?
That's what brought us back. Because I said, look, I don't want to raise a kid in this kind of atmosphere. And so we had Nelson. And Nelson was that, it kind of brought us back together as far as getting back into the church. And then one of Scott's really good friends from high school, he actually was a minister and he invited us to their church.
Wow.
That's where, once again, I'm back in the spotlight. I'm back on stage. I'm doing all different kinds of singing gigs. I'm on television.
Whoa.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I know nonchalant about it.
so, but it became so religious where we were as ministers of the gospel, because Scott was a minister. Scott went to school to be a minister and graduated. He never
Wow.
got his diploma because the pastor ran off with a prostitute, but that's a whole different story.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's a whole different
So
story.
that's a seminary that everybody wants to go to.
Right?
Sign me up.
So anyway, yeah. So I left Scott.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I left him. I left him for 2 weeks, and I wasn't
Wow.
coming back.
You weren't?
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
And
And I had an affair.
Wow.
I had an affair. Oh man, I got goosebumps now.
But Scott knew, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
But you
Of
just
course.
haven't told people?
Never.
Are your family going to know?
Now they will.
They don't know?
No, but you know what? I'm free of it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Absolutely.
if they judge me for that, and because Scott forgave me.
Exactly.
God
it doesn't
forgave
matter.
me.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right.
That's what a lot of, not to change the subject a little bit, but a lot of people now, since he's dead, have walked up to me and said, do you know what Scott does? Or what did he do? And I said, first of all, stop you right there. I don't care. That wasn't the man I married.
Yeah.
I had the man I married.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had an affair. And I had to come back. And that's when I got on the airplane and I thought to myself, the religious part comes back. And I'm on the airplane and I'm with all these people and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This
You're being
airplane,
punished.
I'm being punished.
Yeah.
That I had the affair. And
no, it's making sense.
yeah. So
Okay.
then I'm on the airplane and I'm just praying to God, I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. Save me, save me, save me. I prayed on my knees in the middle of the aisle because I really thought the airplane was going down.
And how long had it been since you had prayed?
Oh, it's been a long time.
In that moment?
In that moment.
Yeah. Wow.
It was crazy. But still, once you get home and the whole religion is going on and you still have that, and then it was like, okay, I have to be thankful for the seminary because they all stepped in and saved him from leaving me, saved me, because they were like, this is what you have to do. And in order for your marriage to continue and blah, 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 blah. Was he mad?
I bet. Yeah.
I would be.
I would
be. Was he? And he was extremely hurt. But this is the kind of man he was. After he walked back into the door after he went to his meeting and I went to my meeting with the girls, because that's the way they did. They came into my house, pulled all the alcohol out of my house, everything, pulled all my clothes out. You're never allowed to wear this again, this again, this again.
What?
Because it was too revealing.
When you come back to church?
When I came back from that.
Because they were in church whenever she was going through this. But they were just obviously weren't where they needed to be.
Yeah,
Right.
of course, because we were in the Pentecostal.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was, Yeah, it was like.
So the way that we're going to save you now, because we're going to get rid of everything, get you back into the straight and narrow by your alcohol, drug, way you dress.
Yeah, because it was the way I dressed. And I was on TV and people were flirting with me and, those kind of things. Back in the day, I was hot.
You were.
I was hot. Yeah.
You still are.
So anyway, so you get through this part in your marriage. So you guys get back together.
Yeah.
And then, assuming just what I think I know from the stories, then you guys start to get back on a better track. Right? Not just you, but your faith and what you're doing, where you're going, what's happening.
We went for several years until we came here.
Right.
Because he was so hurt by, when we went back to the church, it wasn't just months later that our pastor ran off with a prostitute, as I told you.
Right.
So Scott was, I'm done. I'm done with church. I'm not going back to church. We're not just going to do it. So we just partied all the time, did our thing, and got babysitters.
Right.
And then,
but that was my point, though. I just want to make sure they see this. So out of church for a while, have a child, decide to get back. The devil sneaks in again. You have an issue in your side of your marriage. You get back on fire. Right. And then another issue happens. Right. So the thing happens with the pastor. Now you guys are out again. Right. At this stage of the game, when Nelson and Talitha started coming with the rest of the littles to the youth group, you guys weren't in church, weren't going anywhere.
Scott wasn't coming.
Yeah. Right.
I came first.
That's what I wanted to make sure people saw, because at this point in their life, and again, back to, if you're a kid out there and you think that, oh, my parents are too far gone, I'll never be able to reach them. I mean, this story to the extent of like what with Nelson and Talitha, and honestly the rest of because all of the littles came to youth. At the time. So all of Ernie's kids, Thaddeus never came.
Every once in a while. Every once in a while. Every once in a while to go back in the back and smoke a doobie or something in the car.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because I said, if you remember this on Thaddeus's podcast, when all of the littles come together, one of the constants that they prayed for was Thaddeus.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like the one that they all wanted to see get back, the one that Scott wanted to see come back. But anyway, so if you're a kid out there listening, I mean, I think it's important to understand that you can still be faithful and trust, and because that's how you guys ended up back in church. Is your kids were coming here to youth, and then they said you should come. You should come.
That's what they said, and Scott says I'm not going. So he stayed at home, and I went. And the very first day I went, I knew that Mike was preaching the true gospel, and I don't mean that I'm not putting you on a pedestal. Don't get me wrong, because you ain't going on no pedestal in front of me.
She is not putting you on there.
But no, I mean, you're faithful in your listening to God when He gives you the word. Bottom line, and even the very first day, I knew. So I kept coming, and I rededicated. That's how they say it in the Baptist
world. That's the Christian word. I rededicated my life.
I rededicated my life. So I rededicated my life to Christ.
At church, we say you got your crap together.
Yeah, I got my crap.
Is that something you can put on the connection card? Got my crap together.
Yes, we should put a little poop emoji.
Yeah,
maybe that fits more of who we are.
And then Scott's seen a difference. I think Scott's seen a difference in me, and the kids kept begging him. So then he came, and we fell in love the very. Because then we started studying together, and we started being the couple that we always wanted to be. Because even though our love story is long in years, our love story really we just actually probably really learned the meaning of love, unconditional love, the last 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it changes.
So.
I mean, again, where you're at in your life, the things that are going on.
It does.
Yeah. So you get back in church, right? So talk about your journey now then because now both of you, at least this is my opinion. So now both of you have to clear the slate. You're religious. Scott's Pentecostal.
Yeah.
You both rebelled. right?
Yeah.
You're both in a
Oh, yeah.
place. Now you got to come and you end up, how do you get to the place then where you can clear yourself of all of that religiosity and all of that tradition?
We sat down and we read our Bible together every single day.
Wow.
We threw out all the pamphlets, all the garbage, and he said, we're going to start fresh.
Right.
And that's exactly what we did. We started fresh. We started, because you cannot, I said I was a Christian, and I said I was a Christian for all those years. I didn't become a Christian until I started reading it.
Yeah, yeah.
His word, he gives us word.
Yes.
And are you going to be able to follow every single one? You should, but we don't, But that's where grace and mercy comes in, those kind of things. Like, I still smoke. We talked about that earlier.
Right.
It's one of the things.
You're only around certain people, right? Like, because you're a closet smoker.
I'm not
she is being considerate.
I'm considerate when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents, you have a lot of parents on the podcast, and they're going to, your teacher smokes.
They're not.
Well, I would hope not, but that goes back to...
I think that too.
What? What do you think?
I think the same thing, like that people would think something like that.
Dude,
What,
I
your
wasn't
teacher
allowed
smokes?
to Sunday school teach
Yeah,
back in the back.
I would think that somebody
But-
would think something about their own
Okay.
children.
Do you want to get on that religious subject?
No.
So we have this discussion in Discover Life, right? Essentials,
Right,
non-essentials.
Yeah, I remember that.
So if you come to Life Church, we'll tell you this. So if you're one of those people out there that are going to be offended because your teacher smokes, I'd probably find a different place to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Because,
True.
and this
And
is
I
the
agree
only
with
reason I'm
that.
saying it, because we say this at Life Church.
Yeah.
The people that say that grew up in a religious background that took something, right?
Yeah.
Smoking, and they're saying, well, you're harming the temple of God, right?
Yeah.
So that's a sin. And
No tattoos,
and again,
no.
I just said, this is the whole essential, non-essential piece of it all. So,
Yeah.
so are you because you eat too much. So are you because you have too
Yeah.
much sugar. So are you.
Yeah.
So if you want to go down that road, this isn't the place to be.
Yeah.
Because we're not that kind of church.
No,
So-
and that's one of the reasons why we stayed, because we really learned how to read the Bible and read it and understand it. There is nothing in the Bible that says I can't teach because I smoke a cigarette. There's nothing
Are
in
you
there.
sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Am I going to heaven? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like we were saying on Sunday, your questions you gave us, it was amazing. Because I'm thinking there, okay, because it's still in the back of my head
Yeah.
every time that religion comes up, and I'm like, no.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
something
another
really
thing,
get
hard to
behind me.
break. That I think
It is
religion.
Which part's hard to break?
The
Religion.
Yeah, and that's why I tried to say, and I wanted people to understand this. I don't know if anybody understood it in the right way, but I said, Scripture is very clear.
Yeah.
There is no condemnation that comes from the Lord,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that means condemnation comes from the evil one.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a condemner,
Yeah.
join the condemned.
Absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
mean that.
I
Like,
know.
I'm saying, like, Jesus Christ is not one who condemns.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're going to be a religious person condemning people
Yeah.
because of things that you think
Yeah.
should be condemned, then
Yeah.
I would say you're in the wrong camp.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think that's the way that he set it up, which I've never got that. Like, I've never understood why somebody would point fingers.
Right.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
it happens.
Oh,
It happens.
always.
It even happens in here, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't dwell on it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? As life church goers, yeah. Mike, I'm gonna be me. He gets me. I'm gonna be me.
I love you.
I love you too, Jenny. But okay, just like going, a lot of people would like freak out because, for Saturday night, it was Tara's birthday, and we go out and we go to this. I've never been to Chapman's.
Oh, yeah.
Chapman's.
Yeah.
And I wasn't real impressed with their food, but I'm sorry.
You weren't.
Sorry.
Okay,
I
Chapman's
had
won't be one of our
Sorry.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Did you get the sweet potato fries though?
No, not yet. But it doesn't mean I won't give it another try. I will
Okay,
at least try.
got it.
But anyway, we were sitting there. We were on the patio. We were having a birthday party, and it was so fun. Just us girls.
I love the patio.
I know. And it was just us. Well, then they started karaoke, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Y'all getting up and doing karaoke.
They do karaoke there?
Oh, I guess. I've never been there
Where?
before.
Chapman's.
Oh.
Because it's
It's
not
just
like
downtown.
Yeah, it's like a food place and then,
Right.
and that kind of
Oh
thing.
my gosh, can we do it? You want to do it?
We're gonna do
Oh,
it.
let's do it.
Okay. So anyway, we go down there, and then I start singing Harbor Valley PTA.
Oh no, I don't even know that song.
Then why'd you say it?
Because the way she just put her hand out, because she was like, I just started singing, and I'm like, it's got to be good.
But I only did it for one reason. The girls around us, I don't know if you know my sister-in-law, Tracy Little, would never touch a drink. She just doesn't drink.
She was drinking?
No.
Oh.
In the song it says, and if you smell Shirley Thompson's breath, you'll get a little whiff of gin. And I go, Tracy. And she's like,
In the song?
I do, she's freaking out. I do not.
Oh my
She's going to kill
gosh.
me. I love you, Tracy. But, it was just fun. And but we don't ever want to be, I don't ever want to be a stumbling block for somebody. I don't. But people need to understand I'm a sinner. I am going to sin. But I'm also going to be me.
Right.
And if you don't like me, I'm sorry.
Well, I just think, again, when you start getting into the whole theological debate about being a stumbling block. So this is what I try to say to people all the time, because as an example, because of the way you're dressed today, to certain religious people, you're a stumbling block.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because you wear earrings, because you have makeup on.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
where do you stop? If that's where religion can never come in, because the whole idea about being a stumbling block, you could take it to whatever thing. You could say Jenny's a stumbling block because she has a phone, or somebody else is a stumbling block because they do.
Yeah.
Like, we just can't get caught up in that, because here's what, to me, the representation of who the Littles are, one of the things that I've always said is that people struggle with this, and even the Littles at times, right? So Life Church is a church of diversity, right? And we've always said that if Life Church is going to survive, it has to stay diverse. Yeah. So there has to be people that it's okay to not raise your hands, and it's okay to not sing, and it's okay to not whistle, and it's okay to whatever.
But we
and
do.
Then, but my point is, but this goes both ways. So this is what normally happens in the church, and it's even happened a little bit with your family.
Yeah.
And it's happened with other people. So then you have the people that whistle and dance and sing and put their hands up. Both of these sides, because of what they believe that what they're doing is better than what the other person's doing. That's why you have the charismatic church and the Pentecostal church and the Methodist church and all these, because they go to a style that fits them. Yeah. So I'm going to go to this church where everybody does this a certain way, and everybody. So I always said, and I've said this to Ernie, used to say this to Scott all the time, the Spirit is still present if somebody doesn't raise their hands. And to the person that's saying, to the person that's raising their hands, the Spirit is still present because of somebody whistling, raise their hands. It's not irreverent.
Irrelevant?
No,
irreverent.
Not
Irreverent.
reverent. Yeah, like some people will be like, because that person's whistling in church is not being reverent.
Yeah.
So the point is the diversity of God and the manifestation of the Spirit. This is what Life Church has always said. The manifestation of the Spirit comes through in what God has, and it manifests itself differently in each person. Some people are going to whistle, some people are going to dance, some people are going to fall down, some people are going to sit, some people are going to sing, some people aren't going to sing.
Yeah.
So what you guys represent is what I said has to continue to be, because having the diversity, because there is a tendency of people that are more charismatic in a church to go to a more charismatic church. Yeah. Because that's not life. I mean, life is... the second service for sure.
Yeah.
The second service is far more vocal than the first service. But the point just is it's both. Like it can be done in both ways. So that's what I'm saying. You can appreciate it, where God has had you, inside of this. So the other thing that I want people to see is, so you guys come back. Yeah. Things are going good. Yeah. Going down the right thing. Scott passes away. Right. So
shock.
So Scott dies of a massive heart attack.
Yep. Widowmaker.
Yeah. So dies of a massive heart attack. Now you got to talk through this whole idea. What did that do? Because this is the pivotal point for so many people. Because if you look at your journey, it's up and down and it's up and down and it's back and forth, and God is good and we're away and now we're back and things are going at this point, because in talking to Scott, so they worked at the farm for a long time, but they made a big switch, like going to open his own business, work with his son-in-law. They're going to
brought me back to the city.
But again, it was a new start. It was going to be something different. It's something that he was excited about and you guys were excited about. And I always say this, like chapters of life, you get really excited and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa. Because that's where you were. As you're changing in the chapter of your life, now you get to the point, Scott's gone. Talk to us about, how did you feel? What was going through your mind? And how are you today with what was going on or what's been happening.
First of all, I got to tell you, I wore my red shirt and my earrings and everything because how am I supposed to find the next husband if I'm not home?
Now I see why you're doing it. She wanted to stand out.
I want to stand out.
Somebody,
Free and single.
Right.
No more dating app. Just listen to the Roundtable.
Right?
There you go.
We'll bring all the single ladies.
Oh.
Yep, hope
What's
it
that
works for
song?
you.
How's
All the
that?
single
All the single
ladies.
ladies.
Keep going.
All the
Come on.
single, that's all I know. All the single ladies.
All the
Single ladies. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, Scott passes away. I got to tell
It's
you.
been 8 months ago.
It has been 8 months ago. And you know what? He was the love of my life. We were high school sweethearts. I mean, what do you say? People are like, still to this day, they don't want to walk up to me and they say, look, my husband is gone. Hallelujah, where he is at.
Right.
I'm not sad about it. I'm a little envious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm the one that had cancer. I'm the one, I was supposed to go first. And because he had his head on his shoulders a little bit more than I do. I mean, come on, let's face it. He's going,
Tricky subject.
No, the only thing, and I even talked to Mike about this one day, the only thing that bothered me the most about it is, did Scott know that I loved him this much?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
You don't think he did?
Oh, well, no, I guess that was the only thing, that was the last thing I needed somebody to tell me, I guess, because I didn't question because I knew where he was going. I was very upset I'm the one that found him. I started the CPR. I had to do all that, and then take care of Talitha. God love her. She's daddy's girl. You know, it hurts. It hurts. Your flesh is screaming. But then they're reeling him out. I got to tell you this part. They're taking him out of the house. My mom's going to be mortified. They were wheeling him out, and that poor little EMT guy, and then the coroner. And I said, wait a minute. I got something to tell him.
My gosh.
I put my hand on his chest and I said, I'm getting a dog.
But you never wanted a dog?
No, we had him and he told me I could never, ever have any more. And I go, that's because you leaving me. I'm getting a dog. And it's honest, I got truth. I mean, because then, you go through the emotions and all that other stuff. But man, God, I really have focused more in growing myself. I always had him there to go and, and I'm not. I don't have him anymore. The biggest part of, after having Nelson, I had a stroke. Leave it to me. I'm one of those people that have all the crazy stuff. I was one in 404,000 women from birth control that has a stroke.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I had a stroke, so I lost my long-term memory. Scott was always there to remind me of, hey, that's so-and-so, that's so. He's not there now. So now I have to swallow my pride and say, I can't remember you. I apologize. I had a stroke. I can't remember long-term memory. And so anyway, but going through that, I have to grow me. It's not about what Scott going on his shirt tail. God has a plan for me.
It's a new chapter.
To find my next husband. That's why we're
That's
red.
what she's doing.
Well,
right here.
Again, so two parts of that, because I think that people can learn from this. So we've always said people respond in different ways when it comes to trials. So for you, it was, I'm sad, I'm devastated, that things aren't good, but I'm going to start a new chapter. And that new chapter is a couple different things. For you, it is the growing of your own faith without your husband. So that's a little bit of what you talked about, right? Like
Absolutely. And it has grown.
Focused yourself and moving that back in the right direction. And this is the other part of it. The other part of it is, should you get remarried? Should you not get remarried? What do people think about
I am
being
not
from
going
a
to
widow?
be alone for the rest of my life. God doesn't want that. He doesn't want that. Why did he give Eve to Adam? I mean, seriously. I mean, you want to go back that far.
Right.
No, I'm not.
Right.
I might only have 10 more years left in my life. I'm not going to be alone for 10 years. I'm not.
Right.
Not going to happen.
And how has people's response to that been?
Well, you're a little soon. You know what? No one will ever replace Scott. They
Right.
can't.
Right.
I mean, come on. He is one of a kind.
Right.
No, it's not about that.
Right.
It's about, first of all, I'm only 56 years old. You know, my parents are in their 80s.
Yeah.
That's 30 years.
Yeah.
Do I want to be alive? No, it's companionship, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's take a walk. Scott never walked. Ever.
So that's what you're looking for, somebody that walks?
Walk.
Yeah.
You know, I have a dog. I have a doodle. I know you shake your head, but
Because they're stupid.
they're not stupid.
No, that's why I'm shaking my head. The doodle made every dog stupid.
No.
Willow.
Yeah.
But Willow
Yeah.
is a Bernese mountain dog.
Yeah.
And poodle.
No, it's a Bernedoodle.
It's
a
still-
Berna idiot. That bit you all the time. That said
She
lost its
doesn't
mind.
bite.
Stupid.
She just
Doesn't?
jumped. She's only
I've
8
always
months
wanted
old.
a Bernese mountain dog.
They are
Yeah, get a
awesome.
Bernese mountain
They're
dog without
so
the poodle
big.
in it.
They're so
Without
cute.
the poodle.
She's
Deal with
like-
the hair, or you're going to deal with a dumb head.
Yeah.
She's almost 70 pounds and she's only 8 months
Wow.
old. Yeah. But anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, no, I am growing. So I go to God first and not Scott.
Right.
I'm on my knees more. And it's not because I lost my husband. It's because I'm finding myself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, like for us, I think that's part of what we wanted to help people see through this journey. Is there's been many parts of your journey that we can all learn from. I mean, because you've had a lot of different things in your life. And again, sharing all that and understanding what people can glean from that and what people can learn from that is a good thing, because a lot of people get stuck in some of those places. Like if you go through somebody's story, a lot of people are still stuck in the whatever that thing was, you
Right.
know. And for you, you've made decisions to move forward. And you've made decisions to say, regardless, good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to keep moving forward.
I'm never going to stop loving him. I mean, I loved him. I mean,
yeah, but until this is how listen, I've said this with Sherry being going like, yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this.
No, you're
Every
not.
single
No, you're not.
person thinks they know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Exactly.
jack
No.
squat.
It's your life.
Like
Nope.
people can say, and everybody has an opinion, and I've heard them all. You know,
Yeah,
especially
me
from
too.
being the leader of the church.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard everybody's opinion.
did you know that pastor?
Yeah.
I'm just
He's
saying,
already
Oh, I bet
dating
you have.
somebody.
Yeah.
everybody has an opinion, and again, my
Who
staff,
do you answer to, though?
my staff and the people that
Exactly.
are around me know what I think about opinions.
Yeah.
You know, and
I used to work for him.
I listen
I
listen to everybody, and I'm going to do all that. But at the end of the day, I have one person to answer to.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm going to end up. And so,
And I told you that early on, even before.
right, yeah. Again, and that's what I'm saying. When people, especially for people that have been widowed,
Exactly.
it's different. Like everybody
Yeah.
has an opinion on how a widowed person should respond and what they should do, and they always have the answers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen,
I am not.
until you go through it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
until you experience it, until you walk a mile in somebody else, because everybody's different.
Right. Yeah.
Every single person's different in the way that God's going to use them. And
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you need to back to the essentials, non-essentials. There's
Yeah.
times you just need to keep your mouth shut.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, there are times, though, that when he first died, the night that he died, I walked in the house and I said, whatever you guys do, get rid of all his crap out of this house. I want it out now. Not because I was done. It was just because I didn't want it in my face. I'm not going to have a shrine of my husband. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
No.
His artwork, I'm sorry. His artwork will be displayed, but that's a whole different thing. But it doesn't mean
His
that I am
stuff.
like, oh, Scott. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Well, it was never
He
made
wouldn't
to be.
want-
Yeah.
No,
he
it's
wouldn't
your
want those
life.
things.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like people do that on
He was a
all
chapter.
aspects of life. I mean, if anything, like anything that somebody goes through, everybody's judging it. And
Right.
unless you have been through it, unless you've lost somebody, you're never going to know.
No.
Because you're saying this, and then they'll go back around and have it happen to them, and then they'll do the same thing that they were saying, like talk bad
But
about.
some people can't get over that morning.
Yeah.
If I could give any advice to anybody before you lose your loved ones, just remember, let it go. Give it to God. You can't get through something like this without him.
Yeah.
And I apologize if that, makes people angry, because I have friends that have been lost
don't
their,
apologize for that.
because I have friends that have lost their spouses 2 or 3 years. Get out there. Stop being shy. Get out there.
Wow.
You know?
Well, but the funny thing is that sometimes people, because this is the craziest thing. So scripture is very clear. And regardless if it's whether or not we lose our wife or husband, it says Christians should mourn differently.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
we should mourn differently than the rest of the world. But the funny thing is that when you move on, Christians are the first ones to say, well, wow, that was a little wow, that was a little much. I'm like, I would love to slap you because you have no idea. I mean, what is your timetable? What was life like? You have no idea what those things are like. And again, are we supposed to sit there and mourn for the rest of our life?
No.
You know, are we supposed to do that?
No.
So so we're at an hour. So we want to make sure we get questions in. So we want to make sure we get the questions in for Tami, you know, to make sure we get those.
I'm scared.
into the
Hey, I have to tell you something though. First of all, Michael, I had a dream.
This is serious.
Yes. I had a dream last night, you know, because you've seen my Facebook page with all my face swollen and all, and I'm going through this whole thing with my teeth.
Okay.
Okay, I dreamed last night that my teeth fell out and flew in my face.
I wish they would. That's so funny.
Why would you wish that on me?
Because that would be hilarious.
No.
Yeah,
I think it would be hilarious.
It would be a great moment.
Dude,
It might be those times like,
I-
have you seen this new Netflix thing called Snowflake Mountain?
No.
Or, oh my gosh. It's
Wait,
on that.
yes.
Where
Where
they
they
take
go.
these
Is it
snowflakes
snowflake
out.
little-
or snow?
No,
Spoiled
it's-
kids. They
Yes.
take up to a mountain and
Yeah.
they do all these things. So they make them clean
Yes.
the
Yes.
toilet.
Oh, that was so
And
funny.
this kid's like,
Yeah.
And I honestly, I don't laugh out loud that much.
that was
and
funny.
I'm seriously dying laughing.
That's a good show.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
your teeth come jettisoning at me, it's going to be like... Yeah.
Well, they're not done, and that's why, you know, because I've had so much problems with them. But you do know the
Here,
story.
hold on a second.
Wait.
Can you
Yeah,
look somewhere
you
else
need to-
now?
You can look at
I'm
me.
like, if those
They're
things
not gonna
jettison
come
on
ahead.
me...
They can hit me. I don't care.
Go
Well, you
look
know
at
who broke them.
Look at Jenny when you're
sorry.
talking.
You can look at me. I don't care if they hit me.
Spit those dentures out over
Wait,
there.
I have a question for Jenny, though. Jenny,
Yes.
you know, this little round table. I
It's
just
not
have
round,
one.
Yes,
but
it
it's
is.
okay.
They cut corners.
Wait, I have a question.
It's really,
It's
you and
called
Jenny
the
are in the
round
same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know this little round table that's really not round.
Yes, it
but it
is.
has rounded edges.
That makes it round.
But here's the deal. You have this big long table. Well, you know, on the podcast, they see all I seen was your mom back of her head.
Yes.
Not all of it. Nick's got a camera right over here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Oh, yeah.
give Nick, our producer, who sets all this thing up,
Yes.
some credit.
Yeah.
Tammy.
Well, I'm so sorry. but
Judas,
no
look
one
at all
can-
this
you know what I'm
work.
saying?
If somebody needs to have a camera back here pointed on Nick and all the screens he's looking at and all the cameras are up here.
kidding.
This
Yeah,
is a
he
big
sees
deal
it
to get
all.
this all
Poor
together.
Nick.
And Tammy just slammed it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nick. I
Judas
just
Priest, all I ever
Given
saw was
my-
the back
yeah.
of her head.
okay, questions. I'm
What about,
sorry.
wait, what about it, though?
Nothing.
It's not round.
What's not round? Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, I was like, okay, Jenny.
Oh,
this
you-
question-
It is round.
You
Yes,
thought
it
she was
is.
gonna be on
I
your
did,
side.
I did.
No.
Okay, get to the
Round table.
questions.
Whatever.
Round table. Okay.
This is from your nephew, Thaddeus Little. And
I'm scared.
he wants to know, how did she come to know the Lord, and was there a defining moment?
You know, I really didn't. I can answer that pretty easily. When I was a teenager, I became a Christian, but I was also religious.
Right.
I didn't actually really get to know Jesus until after I give up all the religion, and I would say that was in my early 30s.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Defining moment, Nelson
Defining.
Little. You
Wow.
pop that sucker out of the womb, everybody's turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he holds the record
What?
at Huntington for the longest cone head.
The longest cone
He
head?
does. He does.
There is not a record.
I swear.
No.
Ask
This
Sarah
is for sure a
Only
little
in
story.
Huntington.
This
Only in
is-
Huntington.
You gotta delineate which story.
Is it on a wall or something?
He came out and he was only 7'12", but you know,
But his
Well,
head was
some women
10 inches long.
It was.
my.
At
He
the
was.
tip of the cone.
It was. His head was like this long. We had
No.
to rub it. I swear.
Rub it?
Scott was like, we had to rub it for months to get it to shrink down. It was awful.
Oh,
I was like, is he
it's
gonna stay there?
Now we got to get
Aw.
baby pics. Is there any baby pictures to prove this, or is
Yeah.
there records?
No, I
and-
put hats on him all the time because I was afraid that.
I mean,
he
you
was
had to have
so
a really
ugly.
long hat.
Put hats on. on Nelson because he
Have
was
you ever
such an
seen his
ugly
head?
kid. Anybody? Listen, once you see Nelson born, everybody's coming to Jesus. That little
Yeah,
cone
right?
head. Have you seen Saturday Night Live?
No.
That was Nelson. Right?
Okay, cone head,
right.
baby.
Right?
And that's
The
what it
cone heads on
reminded me of.
Saturday
Of
Night
course,
Live.
you know, it was the joke back then, but
That he was a cone head.
Talitha was worse.
Is it
Talitha had
because-
Scott's head. You know, Scott
Okay,
had the
so he
big...
holds the
Yeah.
record for the cone. She holds the record for the
Oh,
round.
no, I
Yeah,
think
wow.
Talitha's is bigger. I
Bigger?
think Talitha's is bigger.
No, I know, but not a cone. You said like
Yeah.
this.
No,
A cone.
round.
You said
It's
Talitha's
something.
you
round.
said,
Nelson is
Nelson's
cone.
like cone. Talitha's
Yeah.
round.
Like the Conehead
Yeah,
TV
so
shows.
Way to go.
Do you remember the
Nelson and
Coneheads?
Talitha? You hold the record for the ugliest babies at Huntington.
If you ever ask Scott, yep.
Okay.
Do you remember the Conehead show though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
It was funny? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Number 2, or not number 2, Lisa Leist. What is her most favorite prayer to God to keep her gorgeous smile and light shining?
I don't ever repeat my prayers, but my go-to probably is just to focus on getting through the day. I mean, it's just like, you know, God, give me the strength just to make it through. you know,
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
because, like you said, we run into people and it's overwhelming sometimes, you know, because you're like, yeah, here we go. We're gonna thrash this out again, you know, or whatever. But people are afraid to talk to you. So I do have my prayer ministry that I do every morning. And I put on a prayer and not for myself, but for other folks. And that's because a lot of my friends have asked me to do that because they work 7 days a week, can't go to church. They want to know if there's somebody else out there that are praying with them.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
How long have you been doing that for?
8 years,
Bless.
9 years.
Bless. 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Last 3 days.
About 8
It's just
years.
a recent
Wow.
ministry.
Yeah, they've asked me to do an online
Why don't you?
YouTube. Oh, God.
You would be hilarious. I would watch for sure.
Okay, next
for
question.
Sure. All right,
We'll talk
Chris
about that later.
Jackson. First, love. Oh wait, dang it! Why did I read that? She loves your picture.
Yeah.
Just
No, she said she loved your picture.
no, she loves your picture.
Oh, love my.
yeah,
thank
but I
you.
wasn't supposed to read that.
No.
I love their whole family's enthusiasm for Jesus. It is infectious.
Oh,
Except Tammy can't whistle.
I can too.
You can't?
I'm the one that whistles.
The whistle.
Oh wow! Yeah, she proved you wrong.
I used to be able to do it with no fingers, but
No
now
fingers.
I have my teeth. I'm afraid they're gonna fly out.
I was glad you looked at her when you did it. You were
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Those suckers come flying out.
That's awesome. All right, Brenda Williams.
Yeah.
I would like to know her funniest memory of Scott. I'm excited for this one.
There's so many.
When he was kissing her one time and her teeth came out.
No, that I didn't get false
Did
teeth
that really
after he was
happen?
gone.
Oh.
No, I didn't get false teeth until about a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
had implants, but Connor Crawford, my grandson, headbutted me. For a year, they've been
Oh.
trying to fix it, but they couldn't fix it. So I had to get uppers. But
Yeah.
anyway, oh, Brenda. Okay, a funniest story about Scott. Scott loved to do practical jokes on me all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you guys that before when he passed away. The very first thing I wanted to do was kick him.
Right.
When he's laying on my kitchen
Yeah.
floor. Bless his heart. But because I thought he was joking.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But anyway, one day he was out in the barn. We lived out of Austin, out at Mike's place. And he was out in the barn and he comes in and I was out there feeding some cats and he says, "Wow, you look awful young today."
She knows the joke. Oh,
No, it's not a joke. He really did say it to
I
me.
know, but it's a joke because it's funny.
Okay.
It's okay.
And he says
said
to
that.
me, he says, "You look really young today." And I said, "Well, thank you." He goes,
know,
"Oh,
so
wait a minute.
kind.
You don't have a bra on, so your skin's stretching it all down." I said, I
Wow.
called him
That's
a
perfect.
few.
That's a perfect story.
Yeah, it really is.
it
It really
but that's
is.
the kind of guy he was. I mean, one time he went out into the garage that was attached to our house on what street is that? Bryant Street. And one time he did this crap to me all the time. So anyway, I was trying to hurry, but goes out to the garage and you hear him sawing. It's a dead of winter.
Burr.
Sawing. And then all of a sudden you hear it bog out like, wah, wah, wah. And then he starts screaming.
Oh my gosh.
Screaming. Oh! He comes fly. He throws open the door and he stands there and he goes, I cut my hand off. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And he drops boom, it on the ground. It was a frozen glove.
Oh my gosh. So he was waiting for this moment.
Oh yeah.
Like he put it in the freezer and everything.
It was like that all
That's
the time.
amazing.
A big practical joke.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Practical jokers.
Okay.
All right, Patty Myers. She says she doesn't have a question, but she's inspired by your positive attitude and faith.
Thank you.
Hugs, Tam.
Tam.
Wait, I did that. Tammy. My eyesight's getting really bad. All right, last one. Keely Oswald. Maybe. Actually, probably. What's that called when you need double vision? Like bifocals. Bifocals. Yeah.
What is that when you need double vision? Or what is that when you need bifocals?
Right.
Bifocals.
Bifocal. I can already not see far away, so now it's this. So bifocals.
Yeah, bifocals.
Can you
definitely.
get contacts and bifocals?
What
You
they do
better
is
be.
they give one, and then, one eye is far away, one eye is up close.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Keely Oswald.
Was wild. Keely Oswald.
Keely, she says that we appreciate her joy and co-teaching our 4 and 5-year-olds with her heart. What is her favorite Bible lesson / story to teach?
To 4 and 5-year-olds or to teenagers? Because teenagers, 4
and 5.
Yeah, let's do 4 and 5.
Okay, so 4 and 5 years, I would say Noah. I would Noah and the ark because first of all, my grandson's named Noah.
Right. Yeah.
But no, the faith. With Noah and doing what he did, and he didn't listen to all the religion of all the other people, denying this is not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it would be Noah because the kids love, of course,
animals.
they love animals. Yeah. But unlike Mike Hill.
Right.
Mike Hill does not like animals.
Mike Hill loves animals when they make you money.
Yeah, those cows.
Yeah, and I like
Poor
dogs
Sarah.
that are outside.
Yeah.
Doesn't Sarah have a doodle? Are you mean to that doodle?
That dog is the stupidest dog I've ever met.
Oh.
Sarah,
Anybody
honey.
listen to this podcast that knows Sarah's little Ivy would tell you it's the
Ivy.
stupidest dog known to mankind.
Does she think it's stupid?
Yeah, the Sarah.
Yeah,
She
probably.
does?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
Okay, I'm going
The
to.
dog randomly bites people.
Randomly?
One of the funniest stories ever.
You were bit by one of my dogs.
Listen.
Oh, you got bit by a dog?
It's his attitude.
Yeah, it is. They can sense it.
No, it's not.
Dogs sense that stuff.
No.
Yes.
No, they
I'm a dog
don't.
Baseball
whisperer.
cap.
I know.
Oh, my
I've never
gosh.
been bit by a dog, ever.
Okay, come over. Ivy will
All right.
have a piece of
Bet.
you. Huh?
Does she draw blood?
Yeah.
She drew blood on my... Listen.
I guarantee she won't.
So at the beginning, this is how it started. Now, this is going to be completely off the subject, but this is how it started. So I would leave Sarah's, and we'd be at night. I'd go to give her a kiss, and the dog would try to bite me in the face.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
the whole thing was, the dog's just protecting me. To
Right,
Owen, you
yeah.
know? Well, then, nothing. I'm just randomly walking out. The dog comes up and bites me on my thumb.
Like for real bite, not
Draws
plain.
blood. I have 2 holes in my thumb from this stupid dog.
So what'd you do? Fling it?
I said, I'm going to walk out of here before I lose my religion and break your dog's neck. I love you.
Oh my gosh.
See you later.
So
I'm out.
Like, how did you get him off? Did you fling her?
No, just come up, bit me, and let go. Listen,
That's something.
talk to anybody that watches this and say, does Ivy have a brain? Oh, well. No, Ivy doesn't have a brain.
How old is she?
Who?
Ivy.
I have no idea.
I think she's still protecting her.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You can say whatever.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't let him bite. I wouldn't let him.
Oh, sure you wouldn't. If your dog bit you, you came into church one time with bite marks up and down your arm.
Puppy.
That's puppy teeth.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
completely
puppy
different.
teeth.
Not
just
anymore.
Go ahead
Yep.
and let the dog
Yep.
bite.
See, no scars.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's not get on the subject because all the doodle lovers out there. Are gonna
Yes,
send
and
in
that's a
nasty
lot of them.
emails.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay,
lot
so
of
we're
them.
going to end up. Tammy, thank you
Yeah.
for
Thanks
coming
for
on.
having me.
Thanks for sharing with us. And again, we'll continue to pray in your new chapter. Like I've
Yeah.
always said for people, instead of always going back, this is what I challenge people. Instead of always coming back and saying, praying for what was,
Yeah.
for us, like people that have been through situations, like
Yeah.
praying for what was and praying for you to get through that. Maybe pray for what's new.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
pray for the new chapters, because I think that's always important. You know, you said like sometimes
keep
people
you
just want to reach
focused.
out,
Yeah.
Focus.
rehash things. So anyways, we're praying for that and your continued ministry and,
Yeah.
you know, multiple different realms and, you know, the things that are God doing through your life. So again, we've enjoyed having you here and enjoyed being a part of the roundtable.
Thank you for having me.
Reminder, Jenny, give them the
Yeah.
number. We want people to continue to get with us.
It's 260-408-8383. That is our phone number, and I send out texts each week letting you know who our guest is, and we want you, just like what we just had, to have questions for you. Just any questions that you can think of. Maybe you know the person, maybe you don't, but that just really helps you be engaged with us because we want to be engaged with you.
Yeah, awesome. So thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.